Hi, so this is a PowerPoint that I made for my digital imaging class last year, and the point was to show the 10 rules of photography and with examples that I took myself. I'm not a photographer, like at all, so the photos may not be the best examples, but they're what I had. So yeah. So the first rule is the rule of thirds, and it's that grid thing you might see where it's like I'm not qualified to talk about this, but that's what the grid on your phone settings are for in your camera. Again, I'm not a photographer, so if any of this is interesting to you, go do research with other people. I'm not a photographer, this was just a silly presentation for class. But that is my rule of thirds photo, and that's what the grid is in camera settings. Balancing elements. You can see I have a foreground, I have a background. I kind of tried to make them balanced. I actually like how this particular photo turned out. I think it turned out pretty okay. Leading lines. Having lines in your imagery. As you can see, I have lines on the tricycle that is shown here. Specifically, that seemed like the best example because it has a lot of lines in it, naturally striking lines. There's also lines in the background, technically. There's a lot of lines in this image. Symmetry and patterns. I have these windows on my bedroom door that are kind of like even, and they're in a pattern, and they're symmetrical. So it's symmetry and patterns. Viewpoint. This was a lower down view of good old Harold, the skeleton replica that is in my brother's room. He's missing a hand, and I think he's also missing a leg. But this is just like a POV shot from below. I thought that would be interesting. Background. So in the foreground we have this old Overwatch toy, and then I have like keys and nail polish and stuff in the background. That was the best I could do, I guess. Depth. So here in the foreground we have like some stuff on the bar, and then in the background there's like a TV and the living room. So the foreground, background gives depth to the image, especially with the weird lighting and stuff. Framing! It was just my back room, and I guess the frame is like the doorway, the literal door frame. Okay. Cropping! So this is a full image, and then this is a cropped version of the image that just shows the skeleton. You can show more or less of the thing. I don't even think these are the same image. I'm pretty sure these are two separate images, but it gets the point across. You can crop an image to focus in on certain things if there's excess that you don't like in the image. And finally, experimentation. I don't know what was experimental, but I guess I felt like these images were experimental, and I took 4 images of the same thing. That's the PowerPoint. This is I've posted a few presentations now. This is just kind of like I did the thing. It was more of a photography project than an actual presentation. But if any of those things sounded interesting and you don't know what I mean, I'm not a photographer. Go look it up yourself. Those are the 10 rules of photography with my examples. Goodbye.